Welcome to the channel, I'm AvidExpert, and today I'm going to be covering The Evil Within 2, showing off all the information we currently know, the plot, synopsis and other things. This will be a very spoiler heavy video, but if you are excited about The Evil Within 2 and you want to know everything we know currently, this will be a very informative and educational video for you. Again, I just want to say this will contain a lot of story spoilers, so if the players want to remain blind completely so they have that fresh experience when they first purchase the game, I would advise you right now to close the video. But without any further delay, if you do want to watch it, let's get right into it as always. Now, you all remember our beautiful protagonist from the original Evil Within, Sebastian, the lovable detective who has to endure all these horrific nightmares. Years before the events of the original game, Sebastian's daughter Lily apparently died in a house fire. Sebastian's life kind of went to hell after this. His wife left him and his life just started to deteriorate overall. We know he eventually got pulled into the original Mobius STEM project. If you've played the original game, you'll know that Mobius Corp dragged Sebastian into their project. Now, this was a collective mind virtual reality. They wanted to insert Sebastian and some other detectives into there to push forward and unravel the mystery behind Ruvik, removing him from the simulation and allowing them better control. Now, people may be wondering after the events of The Evil Within what exactly happened to Sebastian. There was plenty of questions at the ending of the game to the conclusion and what exactly went down. So it seems like after surviving the events of the original game, Sebastian kind of had a very deteriorated life, as said before. He lost his job, he lost his will, family, friends and associates probably started to distance themselves from him because of his story of Beacon. Due to the fact that Mobius completely ruined his life, he has been trying to hunt down the people responsible behind the original Beacon incident. After years of searching and having no clues turn up, Sebastian finally has Kidman re-enter his life. Now, you guys should remember Kidman as the Mobius agent from the first game, and she offers him a chance at redemption. Now, Kidman had a plot twist with her within The Evil Within, where she didn't exactly seem to align with the organization's motivations specifically, but she is still being used by Mobius. She tells him Lily is still alive. Now, this is a very surprising announcement, because remember, Lily dying is one of the first events that caused Sebastian into his down spiral, losing his wife, his job, the Beacon incident, and Mobius seems to be connected to Sebastian and his family a lot more than he knows. Sebastian is informed by Kidman that if he goes into the STEM world again, there is a chance he can actually save Lily, bring her back. She offers him a chance at redemption for every little thing that's gone wrong in his life. There are many questions about whether there'll be a happy ending here, of course, whether things will turn out to be how they are, or even if Lily is actually still alive. I actually agree with that. When we're dealing with a virtual reality, it could just be a subconscious creation and Lily is actually already dead. This would just be a good motivation for Sebastian to work for Mobius again, and they know that, and maybe it's all a manipulation. There's no way to really tell, we'll have to see the full game for that, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't know about this detail here specifically, and are happy to receive this and finally know. So we got to get onto the other details about the game as well, because this is just the core opening to the synopsis of it and the story, but there's also mechanics and other things that are explained in other articles, especially with all of this Gamescom footage coming out at the moment. Now, all of the Gamescom footage is under NDA, so we can't actually see the gameplay itself, but reviewers and YouTubers and journalists were allowed to collect their thoughts about it and show a review in text format only. To those that were wondering, as this was a very important question to a lot of people considering the change to first person in Resident Evil 7, the gameplay and controls haven't changed in any major way for The Evil Within. Now, I know these two games are completely separate, even though the director used to work on Resident Evil and there's no connections between the two companies anymore, but a lot of people were still worried, and I'm sure this will alleviate that at least. We get to see how the events of The Evil Within actually affected Sebastian, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty of flashbacks due to that. And once again, as I said before, we go back into the STEM world to save our daughter. Now, it looks like The Evil Within 2 2 is going to provide a very similar atmosphere to the first game, but it's also going to have some areas that are less linear. I actually really like the idea of this. One of the biggest criticisms of the original game was how on rails it was. There was really no alternative paths or alternative features you could use to get through the level or defeat the bosses. You basically had to do as the developers intended you to do. But it looks like with this there'll be some more exploration, and also based on other commentary, side quests, among other content in the explorable areas, and I'm sure most fans will be welcoming to such a change. You're going to be inside a dark dimension known as Union. That is such a call out. There's a large reference there that Evil Within 1 fans will understand. Now the interesting thing this time around is you're going to have a communication device that allows you contact back to the real world. I'll get more into this device later on, but it will give you a direct feed to Kidman from the original game. I want to talk about the gameplay mechanics introduced first before I go into the topic of the communicator, because there's a lot of things introduced in this game that weren't in the original, as well as a lot of returning favorites such as the crafting system, so I'll go into some depth over this now. First off, it looks like you're going to be able to make alliances with other survivors in the world, so I'm not sure how many people are actually introduced and connected to this virtual reality system, but considering there is survivors in there, I'm sure some of them are peaceful if there is the option to team up with them. Whether they'll later turn out to be hostile or not is open to debate. The communicator gadget is going to be a sort of waypoint system, offering guidance towards the objectives in the form of radio static. People who played the old Silent Hills will be very reminiscent of how this is going to work. The communicator is going to be our all-to guide in the story. It will also be used to detect side quests, which we can then complete for additional resources or just to thwart the enemy in the area. So overall, we're going to be using this tool quite a lot. Considering that it's a communication tool back to Kidman as well, we can only assume it's going to be very central to the story elements, cutscenes, and plot progression. The all-fan favourite goo, which is used to improve the stats and skills of Sebastian, will make a return, and so I'm sure the upgrade system is coming back as well due to this. Ammunition crafting also makes a return, so I'm sure all of the weapons you obtain will have some customizable ammunition crafting towards them to a certain degree at least. In this section of an interview, the person talks about a recruit, possibly hinting at the fact we might have a headquarters and the ability to recruit survivors back there. And at the end of this scene, just like the Evil Within, all of his bullets were wasted, so there is an emphasis on survival horror and ammunition conservation. The journalist reviewing this also does give credit to the open world environments now and the fact that it isn't all on rails, so I'm really looking forward to this element in particular, and there is an emphasis from journalists that it did work out really well. When asked if there was anything too graphic that they couldn't put into the sequel, they said there's not really. In the first game there were so many things that were handled by the player that the territory is kind of established now and gory elements will remain, and there's not really anything that's going to be censored or cut out due to that. Now, one of the last things I'd like to talk about is the Twisted Deadly Photographer. This is going to probably be the main antagonist in the Evil Within 2. This character was revealed in a trailer recently, and not much information is known about them. All we can assume is that knowing that the STEM project requires a central brain to be loaded up and used as the foundation, this is definitely one of the central brains loaded up into the device. The photographer also seems to have some connection to Sebastian's daughter. How far that connects is unknown.
She is the key, the path to ultimate power. She is the brush. Blood is my paint, and this world is the canvas.
He uses words like Philistines. Now that's a word used in the early 19th century. I can only assume this is a brain of a murderer from that century, a similar situation to Ruvik. I'm not exactly sure why the STEM project is using him, but I'm sure the mystery of that is going to be delved in the game and we'll be able to unlock and find out what that is. There's a lot of alternate theories I could make about this character, a lot of metaphors, terminology, and things seen in the trailers, and I might be covering videos on that if this is well received, so let me know what you think about that. I've also got a lot of speculation and theories about other things in the video and the trailers provided, so just let me know if you do want to hear more of those. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and a subscribe. That will show me the ultimate form of support you could. I hope you really enjoyed this video anyway, guys. I'm really looking forward to the Evil Within 2. There's definitely an interesting plot to be unraveled within there, and I'm sure you guys are as excited as me to unravel what there is. But anyway guys, I just hope you're having a good day for now. If you want, you can check out my other videos. You can also follow my Twitter for the latest information and updates, and we have a Discord server that I link in every video. You can check the description out for that and come join the community and speak to us all. Anyway guys, as always, I just hope you're having a beautiful day. Take it easy and peace.